Construction workers find thug stealing their tools, they give him hilarious instant justice. And now this happened at an uptown Charlotte, North Carolina constructions site. A video popped up online which shows what construction workers do when they catch a man messing with their truck and stealing their tools. When the workers caught him, they taught him a lesson he won't soon forget. They actually took the suspect and tied him up to the outside of the construction to wait for the police to arrive and take him into custody. But once news of what was going on got out, a crowd gathered and ridiculed the suspect until he was taken into custody. Somehow I doubt this guy will be stealing anything else anytime soon. Crime Talk reports. Theft from construction sites can be an expensive issue, whether it's the gradual, but quickly mounting, costs of small item theft and petty thieving from light-fingered opportunists passing your site, or theft of larger items as a result of break-ins and robbery. But when you also consider the costs of litigation and insurance if a member of the public is injured as a result of items stolen from your site, such as being crashed into by stolen plant vehicles or hit by an item rendered unsafe following a break-in, and it's easy to see why the cost of appropriate security for your site can easily repay itself over time. So what are the facts and what preventative action can you take? Fact 1. Theft is a real and relevant issue in the construction industry. A recent survey conducted for the Chartered Institute of Building identified that 92% of their respondents in the construction industry are affected regularly by theft, with 21% of these revealing that theft takes place on a weekly basis from their sites. Complete stock take and equipment audits regularly and as a standard on-site procedure, to help quickly identify patterns in theft or times of increased vulnerability. Improve security to your site's boundaries. See this guide on security fencing for construction sites from Safe Site Facilities. Fact 2. Theft can result from health and safety neglect. Thefts don't just occur from less than honest workers and opportunistic visitors during working hours. Many thefts result from neglect and security when sites are closed. Whether it's failing to have secure barriers in place to restrict entry or failure to lock away items such as vehicles when not in use, health and safety neglect is a key factor which contributes to regular theft. Complete a health, safety and security check with immediate effect. Identify vulnerabilities to your site's security when open and closed and implement a plan to address those vulnerabilities, such as replacing compromised fencing or barriers with reinforced concrete barriers. Fact 3. Safety of employees and the public are an important consideration. Forget fiscal costs for a moment and consider the cost of loss of life or permanent injury which can be caused, directly or indirectly as a result of theft from your construction site. Revisit health, safety and security audits and policies with your employees and the general public in mind. Highlight priorities for preventing theft and accidents relating to poor security. Consider environmental factors such as employee access to the site, or any public rights of way such as pavements which are crossed by vehicles and machinery moving in and out of your site, whether as part of the working process or as a result of being stolen. Choose security barriers which allow for supervised access points. Fact 4. Organized crime is a real issue in the construction industry. It's not just opportunistic thieves after a few tools to sell on who benefit from poor site security. With the prevailing prices of some metals such as copper, lead and aluminum, some organized criminal groups specifically target sites which are known to use these and other valuable materials, as well as to target building materials generally for resale or other use. Consider site security in terms of processes as well as policies and placement of items. For example, you may regard standard barriers as secure enough against passing vandals and opportunists, but will they really withstand an organized attempt to breach your security, particularly if you have easy access during working hours? Ask your managers if they really know who is coming onto the site on a daily basis and why, whether any casual contract workers are fully reference checked to identify if basic security processes are in place. If they are not, consider what needs to be done to address the issue, to ensure that people, as well as property, are fully secure on your site. Fact 5. Security is about prevention and safety. Short-term cost cutting when it comes to site security can turn out extremely costly in the long run. An unsecured or poorly secured site is an open invitation to criminals, so all measures should be taken to secure site boundaries and access with suitable, hard-wearing and fit-for-purpose equipment, such as steel-enforced concrete barriers. Installing flimsy alternatives which are not suitable to the working or geographical environment, such as high winds, will offer poor value for money and may pose additional hazards to employees, visitors and the public. Similarly, if you choose to use a security company, choose a fully insured, reputable company with fully referenced employees rather than a cheaper alternative which could possibly prove to be a rogue company. Purchase site security barriers from reputable companies which offer guaranteed products, quick installation and a full backup service. The bottom economic line for construction site security isn't about asking what security measures you can afford to implement, it's about asking what you can afford to lose, as, in the majority of cases, the cost of fit-for-purpose site security is quickly regained through reduction in thefts, insurance claims and premiums, and in retaining good reputation for prioritizing your employees and the public's safety. Construction site theft is a major issue that has been affecting the construction industry for decades. The theft of building materials to tools to heavy equipment, construction site theft is an industry-wide epidemic with no end in sight. In addition to the direct added costs of replacing all the stolen materials and tools, there is also the indirect cost due to rising insurance premiums, rental costs to replace stolen equipment and lost productivity while waiting for the items to be replaced. Delays in production can also result in hefty fines laid out in the contract if deadlines are not met by the construction firm. While no concrete numbers are currently available, most industry experts believe that losses due to construction site theft reach at least $1 billion or more annually. According to the National Equipment Registers, NER, 2011 Equipment Theft Report, the total value of stolen heavy equipment alone was close to $300 million for 2010. It should be noted that this report focuses solely on heavy equipment losses and does not factor in stolen building materials, tools or the other indirect costs mentioned earlier, such as loss of productivity thanks to not having the correct tools or materials needed in time. Please share if you want to see more thieves publicly shamed.